Hi, welcome to the Monday Maydayology podcast by Hasty Fire Products. I'm your host, Hank Henline. I wanted to come on here today and kind of explain and give an introduction to what this new podcast is going to be about. So if you follow my social media, Instagram and Facebook is where I'm most active at. I use that to market my company, Hasty Fire Products, and market my flagship product, the Hasty Rescue Strap. I developed that tool as a rapid intervention tool to assist in rescues of downed firefighters, and I use my social media to market that. I'm also a fire instructor, and I love passing on my knowledge and passion for the job. And part of what I wanted to do with my social media was be more than just sell a product, and I wanted to give back to the fire service, try to teach, try to pass on that knowledge, and try to make the fire service better. And in doing so, I came up with doing Monday Maydayology posts. Mayday Mondays, I'm sure you guys have heard that term before. What is Maydayology? That suffix ology means the study of or the science of. So this is going to be the study of fire service Maydays. Anyway, on my social medias on Mondays, most Mondays, I like to start the week with a post, the Monday Maydayology post, which will cover topics that fall underneath of the RIT/Mayday umbrella. Usually it's a quick snippet, a survival skill, a Mayday skill, or little things, that make managing or mitigating a Mayday a little bit easier. Something else that I always wanted to do with those posts was line of duty death reviews. However, I found it very hard to dissect, criticize, or really, take a deep dive into some of these line of duty deaths that I was not a part of. I feel like it's a very difficult thing to put that into a small snippet on social media without looking like an asshole or looking like you're judging individuals or departments and how they do business. So I wanted to shy away from that, but I figured I can start a podcast. So if I bring these people on, if I provide this platform and I can bring on people who have legitimately gone through Maydays on an incident and survived to tell the story, or they've been a part of a RIT team, whether it was a successful rescue or not, maybe some command officers who have had to sit in a buggy and command an incident where a Mayday is happening, and then even some people who are deeply immersed into rapid intervention training. I want to talk to all these people and I want to provide this platform so we can get those firsthand accounts out there. And I feel like it's going to do a lot better justice than me trying to make a quick social media post. I know the podcast market is really saturated, especially under the fire service umbrella for podcasts. So if you guys are joining me, I truly appreciate that. But I do think we're going to stand out because of how we're providing all these firsthand accounts for Maydays. I'm hoping that this podcast is going to be a bi-weekly podcast, so I'm hoping every other week, as long as I get enough people that I can bring on and that we can talk about these things, we can make this podcast every other week. If I get more, we can do it every week. But right now, my goal is to try to do every other week or bi-weekly, and I'm going to do more of a natural flow podcast. So there's a lot of podcasts out there that will take a conversation and limit it to an hour, or you get around that hour mark and they start trying to cut it off. And there's nothing wrong with that, but I've noticed in a couple of podcasts I've been on or some that I've listened to, you kind of lose that natural flow, right? And sometimes the conversation is really just starting to get good at that 1 hour mark. You guys are getting comfortable talking and you cut it off and then it's over. So I'm not going to limit this podcast to an hour. I don't want them to be super long, but I'm just going to let the conversation take us wherever it takes us, and it's going to be as long as it is. So if it's a 30-minute conversation or if it's a 2-hour conversation, that's what the podcast is going to be. I'm really excited to bring this on. Please stay tuned. Next week, we're going to drop the first episode, which I've already recorded. It's a close friend of mine, and he also works for the department that I'm in. His name is Battalion Chief Steve Schultz, and he was involved in an incident 22 years ago where he was basically in a Mayday incident, and he luckily survived to tell the tale. So we're going to talk to him. We're going to find out what happened during that incident. We're going to figure out what lessons he wants to pass on to others. And it's going to be a great time. So I'm super excited to bring this to you. And I want to thank you guys for all your support. So make sure you join us. Follow the podcast wherever you're listening to it, whatever platform you're listening to it on. Please follow it, please share it, please rate it, and help us grow. And that's all I got for the introduction. So I'm excited, like I said, and we'll see you guys next week.